Hi everyone, welcome to the video. Thank you for tuning in. Today we'll be focusing on some of the major events occurring across the cryptocurrency space in the coming weeks. One of them being the Bitcoin block reward halving, which is just over 12 days away. It's this once in a 4-year event or thereabouts, and it's going to be the first time in history that Bitcoin's inflation rate will be lower than the US, the UK, Australia, and several other developed nations, and not far off from that in the Eurozone. But before we launch into it, I'll touch on the performance of some of the major cryptos throughout the space over the past 7 days. And later on, I'll be showing you a crypto calendar for all of these different events, other than the 4 I'm going to mention in the video. Now, before I continue, a quick reminder, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please always do your own research before investing. And if you haven't done so already, click subscribe, smash the bell icon, and feel free to check out some other videos on my channel if you are interested. Some recent price data. Over the past 7 days, the entire market has been looking rather bullish in the lead up to this major halving. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP are all up between 15 and about 16.5% over the past 7 days. Some other major gainers in the top 50 include, this is relatively speaking, we've got Stellar up 31%, Cardano nearly 40%, and they'll feature in this video in a few minutes' time. Monero up nearly 14%. Tron, on the back of some news in regards to Samsung featuring their dApps on the Galaxy Store. Ethereum Classic is up 21%. One of the standouts over the past 7 days has been Digibyte, 76% up. Let's see if it can maintain a lot of this momentum. It's not me shilling it. It's not me telling you to buy it. I'm just stating what I'm seeing here. Algorand and Lisk up 20 and 26% respectively. Plenty of bullish sentiment overall. Now, jumping back to the Bitcoin block reward halving, I want to draw your attention to this graph that I'm seeing here, courtesy of TradingView. It points out the historical prices of Bitcoin here, including the first and second halving dates, which for your reference is the 28th of November 2012 and the 9th of July 2016 as shown here. So at the first halving, the price was about $12 to $13 per Bitcoin. About 12 to 15 months following that, going into early 2014, the price shot up, dipped back, and then just continued to grow substantially. So that got up to about, $1,000 per Bitcoin. And based on my calculations here, that's an 80x from where it was at the first halving up to its maximum in that period there. Between 2014 and 2016, it dropped down to, about 75% from that maximum there, as shown where the cursor is. And then come the second halving, or in the lead up to that second halving, we saw a major price increase once again. Now, do bear in mind that this is all relative. At the time, the price went from $12.50 to $1,000 and then back down to $250 at the time of the second halving. From what I can see here, it's about $640 thereabouts. Come 2017, which was a very memorable year throughout the entire crypto space, we saw the price went from just below $1,000 in January all the way up to nearly $20,000 come Christmas 2017. Since then, it's really struggled to relive the all-time highs, not just for Bitcoin, but throughout the entire market, with a few exceptions, of course. Okay, now, there are so many articles in relation to this. I'm just pointing out a few of them. People coming in with their predictions about what could happen to the price. There's this Bitcoinist piece titled, "Will Bitcoin price hit 70,000 post-halving?" There's one from The Block titled, "What crypto exchanges are saying about the upcoming Bitcoin block reward halving?" Bitcoinist once again was released yesterday, bullish for Bitcoin. Data shows regulation sensitive, in inverted commas, institutions are long. So there's some positive sentiment there. And Crypto Potato has Bitcoin halving 2020 explained. Everything you need to know and updated as of last week. This has not only made the news in the crypto sphere, but many mainstream media outlets are talking about this as well. Many of them have declined my request to display these articles to you, but a bit of research on the interwebs will show you exactly what I mean. So segueing into my next point, on the 12th of May, when this block reward halving is scheduled to occur, this also coincides with this event called Consensus, which is presented by CoinDesk. It's an annual blockchain and crypto conference, which is hosted in the USA, I think New York to be exact. And this year, it's going to be 5 days instead of 3, which occurred last year, in addition to it being a virtual conference because of global events. Over 150 speakers, more than 100 press representatives, and 5 days of content. There'll be speakers from a broad range of backgrounds here. We have, zooming out, Changpeng Zhao, founder and CEO of Binance. We have a UNICEF rep, in addition to a member from the World Economic Forum, so the respective heads of blockchain or blockchain leads. Akon and the Chainsmokers, if you're into their music at all, and Laura Shin, who hosts 2 blockchain podcasts and has been around in the space for a while. Plenty of other speakers from various backgrounds attending. According to this here, over 240 speakers. Back to some major upgrades for Crypto Project, or some significant news here. Cardano announces that they have finally produced the first block as part of this long-awaited and highly anticipated Shelley upgrade. For those who are new to the space or not familiar with Cardano, it's currently ranked 14th on the list of cryptos by circulating market cap, so it is a significant project and there is a lot of enthusiasm and energy behind it. One of the main figures is Charles Hoskinson, who is the CEO of IOHK, which is one of the 3 organizations behind Cardano. He gives regular updates in regards to the project. In one of his latest tweets, it says, "Meanwhile in Cardano land, a wizard arrives precisely when he means to." And it says the first Shelley block was forged on the 25th of April 2020, and then there's some code there, some details on the code if you're interested. It's important to remember, according to this, Hoskinson says Shelley is in an early friends and family, in air quotes, testing stage. Cardano has been separately testing its incentivized staking system for months and now plans to put Shelley through a series of trials, fixing bugs, refining the platform, and gradually rolling out its infrastructure in the weeks and months ahead. For those that are interested, this is the official website of the Shelley Incentivized Testnet. And if you're interested, this is the Cardano roadmap, and it gives you an extensive explanation of what all these stages of the roadmap involve and the timelines and all of that jazz. There is this piece here from FX Street, which discusses this as well, in conjunction with several other websites in the crypto space talking about this. Just like Ethereum 2.0. Now, this has been long overdue, and it will include Casper, sharding, plasma, and several other features as part of the upgrade. To give you a bit more info, Casper is the process of migrating Ethereum from the proof of work consensus algorithm to what is called proof of stake. And there's this piece here from the Binance Academy, a neat and concise summary of what it involves. And there are different articles covering that as well. Casper upgrades and sharding have been spoken about for at least 2.5 to 3 years, which never came to fruition, but it's most likely going to happen soon. To give you some perspective in terms of these delays, this Blockonomy piece here is titled Ethereum 2.0 Genesis block may launch in January 2020. If I jump over to this AMB crypto article, it points out here that the halving date is set for May. The launch of Ethereum 2.0 is tentatively scheduled for June 2020. And then there were talks about launching it in January this year for it to coincide with Bitcoin's 11th birthday. That never happened. As a result, people get very skeptical in terms of when this is going to happen. I'm just, for those not looking at the screen, just flicking through a few different articles in relation to this topic for you to read. I'm going to discuss this in further detail in an Ethereum video that I'm going to make soon. So it's part of my project updates and price analysis videos. But there's this here from Crypto Slate. If you're interested in reading it, analyst believes Ethereum's 2.0 will bring the largest economic shift in crypto. Here from Brave New Coin, it says Ethereum price analysis, on-chain fundamentals increasing. And just drawing your attention to a few of these, according to this article, on-chain fundamentals including hash rate, transactions per day, and daily active addresses have increased over the past 2 months and are up significantly from year-end 2019 lows. There's, back to AMB Crypto. This is titled ETH 2.0, What Will Happen to Miners Following the Switch from Proof of Work to Proof of Stake. It will be interesting to see what happens with Ethereum 2.0 and when they finally migrate to Proof of Stake consensus algorithm, and it's been long awaited. We'll see what happens. A lot of information to take in. As we wrap up, I want to point out this interesting, really cool resource from Fiat Leak. For those who are not familiar with it, they show the amount of money flowing throughout the space for Bitcoin and several other cryptos in various currencies around the world. Plenty of activity, and I'm curious to see how this is going to look in the lead up to and just after the block reward halving. Last thing before I forget, there is this resource here from CoinMarketCal. So a list of all of the different events happening on their calendar here for you to stay up to date and to keep an eye out for what's occurring across different cryptocurrency projects. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I also hope all is well at your end and that you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Just a reminder as well, plenty of other videos to check out at the channel and several other content creators to follow in the crypto sphere whilst many of us are stuck inside. So there's no shortage of information to digest with all of these different projects throughout the space. And I'll speak to you soon. Take it easy. See ya.